Good morning. This is another DeVeaux Speaks, but this time we're doing something special. I have three wonderful, brilliant, talented ladies in the car with me, and I'm going to get a chance to ask some questions many brothers wish they could ask women, and they're going to give us their honest answers. Why don't we start, ladies, but you keep it anonymous, but let us know what you do.
Hey, I'm a social worker.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. I am also a social worker.
Beautiful. Got
Hello,
two.
everybody. I'm a trader and an entrepreneur.
Wonderful. And I am Brother DeVeaux. So let's get right to it. So one of the things I noticed, I was down on Broadway last weekend, and I saw a brother trying to get the attention of a young lady, walking down the block, and obviously she was trying to get to where she was going, and he was trying to be flattering, but she looked like it was more annoying. So I want to know from you ladies, when brothers are trying to get your attention in public, I want to know your take on that. Is that a turnoff? Is that something flattering? Give me your perception of brothers wanting to get your attention in public. And go in any order you like, but take 1 minute each.
I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to get the attention of another in public. I think it's really all in the approach. I think if you're approached respectfully as a woman, if it's complimentary, if you're not referred to as yo-yo or hey or
Right.
pss, pss, I think if you good morning, it could be a greeting or a salutation, you look very lovely today or something of that nature. But I think it becomes an issue when it's not tactfully done and you're kind of reduced to a body part or you're objectified.
Okay.
Yes.
I got to follow up, but let me hear from the other two ladies.
I can definitely agree with everything she said. I do not like catcalls. Like, there's no need, because that automatically just tells me that you're just looking at a physical part of my body, and it's almost like sexual. I don't care for it. Your approach is everything to me. That's your first impression, so make it count. Be confident in the way that you do it, but also if I'm walking somewhere, do not speak to me. That's just me personally. Don't interrupt me. I'm busy. If we're at a function and you publicly approach me, that's fine. But I personally just don't like the yos or the those are annoying. The God bless yous. The God bless yous are okay with me because those are quick. I just say thank you and I go about my day. But no, it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I pass.
And
So for me it would be God bless you, and it depends on what kind of attention they're trying to bring. I guess people can be also helpful. They can ask, like, can I help you, or can I do something for you? So that's okay as well. I would agree with the girls before as well, in a way that all the the crazy stuff doesn't count because it's just annoying for sure.
Yes.
The respect and being treated as a human being instead of a sex object, that would work for me as well. But also, if the guy wanna say something nice, a compliment or God bless you, that's, I think, always welcome to any human being in the planet.
Absolutely.
all right, so just a nice compliment, pretty dress, God bless you, nice earrings, love the shoes, but keep it moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the key for me. Keep it moving. Thank you.
No, you don't want them to grab you by the arm, nothing like that.
No.
Absolutely not. Do not even reach your hand.
No. Boundaries, personal space.
Absolutely.
All right, you heard it, guys. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yes.
So this kind of brings me to another question. I was watching a Dave Chappelle stand-up on Netflix. I don't know if you have seen this, but he talks about when he was getting a young comic. He was in New York, and one of the guys, he was doing a performance at some place, and some drug guy gave him $10,000, something like that. So he had to put it in his bag late at night going home. And he equated that to, he said his first time, he said he felt like he thinks women feel all the time, because he was so nervous and scared that he had something so valuable that somebody may try to rob and take it from them. So I kind of want to get you on a more serious note. The whole thing about sexual assault, like how conscious are you aware of that every day in your dealings or in your taking the train and bus? Like how much of that is a thought process, the potential of sexual assault on women?
Wow. I think there's such a dichotomy in this society, because on the one hand, everything seems to be very sexualized, and women's bodies tend to be the focus of that sexualization, whether it's marketing and selling products or what have you. And then there's also, this kind of where women have to be protected. So I think you have these, like I said, two dichotomous, perspectives. And I think women and men clearly are socialized differently. I think as women, we are more conscious, just living in this society and the gender norms and stereotypes, and yeah, we do have to be protective, about our bodies. I think, there are a lot of us that question, is this a little too low cut, or is this too short, or where am I going, if I'm traveling late at night, how am I getting home? So I do think that we do have more of a heightened awareness, and that's just growing up female, in this society.
That's heavy. Any other ladies want to chime in?
She hit it right on the head, yeah.
Okay.
I have no words for that. I mean, this world is very corrupt, and I completely agree with everything she said. Especially, like, with me personally, I like to go out at night. I wear clothes, especially if I'm going
Talk a little louder. I want to make sure everybody hear you.
I agree with everything she said. And for me personally, I love, especially during the summertime. Summertime is definitely, for me, I get very paranoid. I like going out at night. I wear revealing clothes most of the time when I go out. And the sexual harassment is always there, whether it's verbal or touching. Like, so if we go like out at a club or something, the whole like hand passing, like, oh, excuse me, miss, or whatever, like that all, like she said, brings a heightened awareness. And I'm extremely, I'm automatically get very tense. So it's something that, to answer your question, goes, like, that is something in my thought process every single day, everywhere I am, whether I'm dressed revealing at nighttime or whether it's during the day, because at this time it doesn't even matter if the sun is out or not. Things happen right in front of me. Actually, I'll share something really quick. There was I was walking home from work one day, and I was in my work clothes, nothing, out of the ordinary, and a man kept trying to talk to me, the whole catcalling, back to the first question. And I crossed the street, and then I saw that he followed me across the street. So then I crossed the street again, and this man crossed the street again. So now I don't have pepper spray on me. Now I do. Now I carry it. But I was so afraid for myself, like, because I don't know, at this point, you are showing me that you are imbalanced and there's something wrong. So I immediately went to Bodega, which is, the corner store, like right up the hill, and I stayed there until my friend came and picked me up. And the man went inside of the corner store and everything. This just happened actually really recently. So it's just thinking about things like that. Like, you have to be fully aware as a woman, especially, just to say that, because people just they don't get it. That goes with the whole consent thing too. No, it's no. That's it. No, and no, it is said in many different forms, and just understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so I agree that, I was assaulted as well when I was 11 years old. Thank God I was not raped or anything, but still, to this day, obviously, I'm really aware of everything. If I go out, I'm like, should I wear a heels or should I wear a flat so I can run, right? So it's a constant in my mind of like, okay, how to dress. If I coming back from somewhere late, 11 o'clock or whatever, I would have keys between my knuckles, and I have like a little bit of cash so I can just like something, so I can if it's somebody, so if I see a group of like teenagers, 16 years old or 19 years old together, and it's all guys, and like I would cross the street. Or like I would not put myself in the harm's way.
That's right.
Wow. I appreciate y'all sharing, especially having 2 daughters myself. I want them to watch that part. Guys, we got to do a better job too. I mean, we also got to defend our women, look out for women. So if you see somebody harassing a woman, see somebody following a woman, and she's trying to get away,
Yes.
it'd be great for guys to step up. That's
Thank you.
that actually situation I talked to you about on Broadway last week. I actually did say something to the guy who proceeded to curse me out, but the important thing is the girl he was following, she was able to get away. So
That's amazing.
I'll gladly take the curse out so that she could go ahead and about her day without him, worrying her. So guys, let's do a better job protecting our women. All right, let me switch gears. That was heavy real quick. So, yeah. So nowadays, I've been hearing a lot of talk from young people. They seem to have a different perspective than I remember growing up on marriage, on its importance or not. So I kind of wanted to hear, and we got ladies of different age groups, but y'all are all young, and I want to kind of get your perspectives. Is marriage today, is it still important? And if you think it is, I'd like to hear why you think so. And if you think it isn't, I'd like to hear why also.
So I would think, for me, I've been married and divorced. So I felt like when we got married, my ex-husband was less attentive. He felt like, oh, you're mine, I'm yours, and I don't have to work that hard anymore to impress you. So that part I didn't like. I like the security part, that we've been together. The commitment part, I love the commitment part, but I think commitment can be without the marriage necessarily for me. But definitely commitment is, marriage is beautiful as well as commitment. So I don't think it's a big difference. I think it's a preference on my part at this point in my life.
All right.
So for me, half of my friend group is married, and they're relatively young, between like 25 and 35. So I personally, I am a spiritual being, and I totally am for marriage. I feel like that's not like the end of, that's not like an end goal, like, oh, we're going to be in a relationship to be married or whatever, but I see it as a commitment, a full-time commitment. I see it as something that two people have to choose to love and fight together for that, because relationships are hard work overall, but that marriage is the next level of hard work and forever. Because I also personally don't believe in divorce for myself. There's definitely situations like 100%, but I wouldn't want to be in that situation. I feel, So overall for me, I definitely feel marriage is important. I am, just so that everybody knows my age, I am 24, and I want to get married. I want to have a serious relationship that will turn into marriage at some point, sooner than later, to be honest, because the good men out here are hard to find. And I'm just being honest, it's so hard to find a good man, my gosh. And a good man that wants to actually get married, because it's true, there is a new thing now where you don't need to get married. But for me, I want to get married. If I'm going to be in a serious relationship with you personally, I want that, because that's another level of commitment, that's more love, and it's definitely more of a spiritual thing for me, I would say.
Okay.
The marriage thing and sex and stuff like that.
All right, we'll save that for the next question. But you hear it, guys.
I'm jumping.
If you're around 24 and want to get married, leave a comment.
Let me know.
I'm gonna vet them first. After I vet them, I'll send them your way.
Thanks.
All right.
So I think I agree with the perspectives of both the ladies that spoke before. I think I've grown up, in a family where people have been married 50 plus, years, and have been have been together, a lifetime, basically, till death do you part. I remember my uncle on my maternal side was like the first one out of 10 siblings to ever be divorced, and that was such a big thing.
Shock.
Yes, not to say that all the marriages, were great or what have you, or if it didn't sometimes just become a living arrangement that we've been together for so long and we're like 60s and where are we going, kind of thing. But I do think I think it's a beautiful institution. I think it does, and commitment. So I do agree with that too, and I guess I don't know. I straddle the fence between that. Does the commitment have to be kind of in that legal form, or can you just kind of have that level of commitment and love for somebody without necessarily having to do that? So I would say yes, I'm a straddler, but I definitely do have an appreciation for that, I guess, higher level of commitment to someone, and kind of, I guess, saying to your family and to your community that this is the chosen one. So yeah, I don't know if that fully answered, but
No, I got it. So speaking of marriage, I think one of you already brought up, sex is an important part of marriage. So I can't have that on in the car. Yeah, all brothers, we think our game is great and tight, but then when you read all types of surveys from women, overwhelming women are like, guys ain't getting it done. So clearly, there's some miscommunication there. So I need to hear from both of you. What is it that you'd wish men understood about sex with you?
Where do we start about sex?
But sex, what do you wish men understood?
Where do we
Well,
start?
let's not say you personally. Let's say sex in general. What is it that you wish men understood that you think guys are missing?
So it has to be all. It's not about sex necessarily. It's about the playfulness between sex, right? So it have to be romance from one sex to another. So it have to be stretched.
Yes.
So it's a foreplay.
Exactly, that's the word right there.
From one act to the next. So even if you have sex once a week, so all the 6 days between has to be romance and foreplay. Not maybe physical, but like in any other forms. The flowers, the cute messages, the attention, the love notes, everything.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not just that time frame. We got it. That activity.
And in the time frame of sex, it has to be foreplay because the woman has to be ready to receive you, right?
Yes.
So it has to be until the woman is ready, and then it has to be all about woman for, I don't know, an hour, and then you can, and then she will thank you.
Absolutely.
I got you.
And then she will thank you. But take the showers, guys.
Yes, and pee.
Right.
Before.
I might take a shower,
yes,
pee.
because
Got it.
remember, being turned on isn't just you can turn me on without being physical with me. So, like she said, with the romance, the flowers, that could turn me on, and I can thank you in different ways with things like that too. So that's really important to think about. That it's not just the physical act; it's the things leading up to it, and me wanting to willingly just give you my all when we get to that point. Because it's a different experience when we're just getting straight to business versus you turning me on with all of these beautiful romantic things and me wanting to give you absolutely everything.
That's,
Foreplay, y'all. Foreplay.
Okay.
Let
That's
me
two.
just emphasize that.
That's 2 for foreplay. Okay.
Foreplay.
because I think there's a difference between sex, ucking, and
Yes.
making love. So I think there's a time and a place for all those, and I think when it comes to the making love part, that's the romance. And if you've been in the relationship for a while, that's kind of like the rekindling, and not just kind of settling or saying, okay, we've kind of been in this, let's just do it, you know, as a part of routine. Because once it becomes routinized, and once it becomes, it's almost like it loses the magic. So definitely, I think the romance needs to be there. And you know, and it doesn't even have to, I think, you know, knowing your love language, because everyone, you know, expresses their love in different ways, and knowing what your partner speaks in terms of that particular language goes a long way. So it doesn't even have to be some expensive endeavor. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and eat. You can get $1 meal from McDonald's and just sit in the park, and you can feed me a French fry or something, you know. So it doesn't have to be something that's expensive or extravagant, but just a little token that says, you know, I care, I find you attractive, you're still very sexy to me. And like you said, just the intimacy. I think intimacy is key, because that will lead to a physical act, or it may not, but just cuddling. There's so many different ways to experience sex and be sexual with your partner, sometimes without even having, you know, the physical sex. So love languages.
Yeah.
Love languages, all right.
So can I add also for the sex part, right? So you guys think you always awesome, and you are most of the time. So I would say communicate with your partner and ask them what they want. So it's all about communication. So the more you communicate with your partner, ask questions like, okay, what is your fantasies? What would you want? What you can talk about the next session in a such way that it's going to be such a turn on, that the woman going to be like salivating, waiting for that to come true, right? So that's
okay.
So yeah, you don't have to feel awkward about talking about likes and dislikes and suggestions or fantasies, like what she said. Because that first of all, that is really important. But anyway, let me not even get into it.
Yes.
We may have to do
another hour.
We have to do another one.
I'm gonna bring you ladies all back.
But communication,
Yes.
verbally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that is, you know, having all of those on point really gives you a greater sexual experience. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely got to bring you ladies back on a discussion. That was some good information there.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait.
Add some more.
I'll save that for a second.
you want to save it, or you want to drop it right now?
No, I have to.
Go ahead.
So also, guys, don't think that you only have a penis to satisfy your ladies, right? You have your fingers, you have toys, you have your tongue, you have your nose, you have your toes, you have like a lot of body parts that you can use to satisfy your lady or your partner between the sessions, or between in one session.
So be all encompassing. I'm hearing mental, spiritual, physical. Use your entire body. Take your time.
Yeah, be creative.
There you go.
Yes.
Be creative.
Be open and receptive.
Yes, there you go. Open. Yes, and receptive.
Open.
All right, look, I'm trying to stay between the lanes here. So let me have to switch topics real quick. But thank you. The key thing I heard though is romance is not dead, right? So still need men to be romantic. Sometimes, you watch videos or something and it doesn't seem that way, but romance is still in, guys.
Oh, yes, it is.
So be
Everybody wants
romantic.
love.
Romance me.
All right. So look, I got a last question, so I'm going to try to keep this below 30 minutes. So all three of you are successful, very pretty, I may say, educated, professional women. And a lot of guys, that can be intimidating.
Yes.
The guys got to come correct and step to any of you ladies. So I just kind of want to know, what would a perfect date look like for you? Like a guy who's, if I saw any of you, I would think, man, I got to give her the world. But what is it that you would really be looking for on that first date that would make it perfect?
Oh, okay.
So it's all, again, it's all about the woman. It's all about asking questions and be interested instead of pouring your life story on her, and she's like, oh,
Yes.
I have to hear it all, from the beginning. So it have to be, again, conversation and the interest, not just like, oh yeah,
about her.
I get that definitely, and yeah, just talking about it, like getting to know her, I think is really important for a first date, because you can take her like to a fancy restaurant and she wouldn't feel comfortable, or like, you know what I'm saying. So like for me, I think definitely conversation and really just wanting to please her, because this is where you get to show out and show off. Like this is really what sets the bar for whatever is to come next, if anything will come next, or if any second date will come next. So like me personally, I like adrenaline rushes. I want you to feed me, right? We can feed each other.
Oh, feed you? on the first date?
No, not like that, not like that. You see, we still stuck on the sex
No,
topic.
no,
I'm talking about actual
no, I mean, on the first date, like give you the food?
No,
Don't
don't feed me.
wait.
We had to go out to eat. I think food definitely is key, right? And then give
Okay.
me something that has to do with an adrenaline rush, whether it's like going on a random helicopter ride, going on the top of a skyscraper.
Oh,
On the
okay, I
first
got
date.
you.
Yes, absolutely. 'Cause you know what it is? I like that. And there are other people too. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not the only one. There's people that like adrenaline rush things. They want to see you in action like that, and what you come up with for things like that. So, and then food is sit down, relax, and then we go and get crazy.
Gotcha.
You get to really know a person like that, honestly.
And also, so you have to prepare the date, right? So it's
Absolutely.
nothing is last minute. So you have to like make arrangements. You know, it doesn't have to be super expensive restaurant at all. It's just the care of like, okay, so what do you like, instead of like, okay, let's just meet there because that's close to my house or something.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
So plant and carry.
Yes.
Okay.
Be very intentional too with everything. Also bring me flowers.
And a helicopter.
This first date sounds a lot like the sex conversation.
No.
Be very intentional, all about the woman.
No, definitely. Okay, be intentional about
Be
it,
creative.
Right? So if you already have had several conversations for the first date, you'll know an area where she lives, right? So be intentional in the location and the activity for the first date and conversation. So come already with something that you want to talk about, because it's a first date. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, ask interesting questions.
Yes, very interesting.
Something
Get me going.
unusual, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I do think it's really about the quality of the time that's spent. So you wanna maximize that time that you're spending with that person, getting to know that person, and finding out, what their interests are. And I think for both people, because two people are on the date. So I think both people have to be prepared. A relationship is a two-way street, so I don't want the onus just to fall on one partner or one party to the relationship, but that both people, obviously there was something that you found attractive or caught your attention about this particular individual that you said, hey, I would like to spend some quality time or some more time with that person to get to know them, better. So I would just say really be creative in terms of, maximizing that time so that it leads to a second date.
Absolutely.
You know what? I appreciate you ladies. That took us all the way to our exits. That was perfect timing. This has definitely been the most fun DeVeaux Speaks to record. And I certainly look forward to having more conversations with each of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Woo!